Welcome to Breaking International News. Iran fires missile salvo at Israel. What is it? Iran nuclear talks with EU begin. Israel receives bad news from the UN. Protesters enter UK military base, attack plane. Iran does not need help, Israel does. Lebanese parliament speaker. Iran fires missile salvo at Israel. What is it? Iran has fired a missile salvo at Israel, meaning it has fired many missiles at once. Israeli media Channel 12 said that at least 39 missiles have been detected in the missile fleet launched by Iran this time. People were injured in various parts of Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Haifa, including in the attack by the Iranian military on Friday. Al Jazeera reported that at least 17 people were injured. 3 of them are in serious condition. The Times of Israel reported that the missiles launched by Iran hit various targets across Israel. The Israel Defense Forces said that Iran is believed to have fired about 25 ballistic missiles in the new round of attacks. It damaged several buildings and injured people in the southern and central regions of Israel. Israeli emergency services said a 16-year-old boy was being treated for serious injuries after being hit by a missile. A 54-year-old man was also seriously injured after being hit by missile debris in Haifa, the Israeli military said. Emergency services also received reports of injuries in central and southern Israel, according to local media. The Times of Israel said Iranian missiles also hit the southern city of Beersheba in Haifa. At least one missile also hit Jerusalem. Iran nuclear talks with EU begin. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and leaders of the UK, France, Germany, and the European Union have begun talks on their nuclear program. The meeting began in Geneva on Friday, June 20th, Jordanian news agency Roya News reported, citing AFP. The report said the talks aim to revive diplomatic dialogue over Tehran's nuclear capabilities and seek a political solution to the escalating conflict between Iran and Israel. The meeting is an important step in ongoing international efforts to reduce tensions and avoid further military conflict amid warnings from regional and global powers about the risk of a wider war. Earlier, Iranian Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas Araghchi spoke at the UN Human Rights Council. At the time, he called Israel's attack on Iran a violation of international law. According to a report by Al Jazeera on Friday, June 20th, Araghchi told a meeting of European officials that Israel had carried out an unprovoked aggression against Iran. This is a clear violation of the UN Charter. He said that Israel carried out an illegal and criminal attack on unarmed military personnel, university professors, and the general public of my country in the early hours of Friday, June 13th. This is an unjust war that has been imposed on my people. Israel receives bad news from the UN. The heat of Iran-Israel attacks and counterattacks in the Middle East is spreading throughout the region. Israel justifies its military aggression with the need to stop Iran's nuclear program. However, in reality, the continuous attacks, forced evictions, and violence against civilians by Israeli forces in the besieged Gaza Strip and the West Bank of Palestine have increased concern in the international arena. It is in this context that Israel has once again been included in the UN's blacklist, this time for serious violence against children during the conflict. Incidentally, the UN's annual report states that violence against children has occurred at an unprecedented level in the attacks carried out by Israeli forces in Gaza and the occupied West Bank in 2024. This is the second consecutive year that Israel has been included in this list. Al Jazeera News. According to the report titled Children in Armed Conflict, the United Nations verified 41,370 serious violations of human rights against children under 18 worldwide in 2024, a 25% increase from the previous year. Of these, Israeli forces committed 8,554 violations against 2,959 children in Gaza and the West Bank, 2,944 of whom were Palestinian and only 15 Israeli. The United Nations confirmed that 1,259 children were killed and 941 injured in Gaza in 2024. Another 4,470 child deaths are being verified. In the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, 97 children were killed by Israeli forces, and 3,688 violations were documented there. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said, "I am shocked by the scale of violence against children in the besieged Gaza Strip and the Israeli-occupied territories. The use of explosive weapons in populated areas is a direct violation of international human rights law." He called on Israel to comply with international law, ensure the protection of children, and refrain from attacking civilian targets. However, there was no immediate response from Israel. Meanwhile, the UN has also blacklisted the Qassam Brigades, the armed wing of the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas, and the Al-Quds Brigades, the armed wing of Islamic Jihad, for the second time. In addition to Gaza, the countries most affected by violence against children this year include Congo, about 4,000, Somalia, about 2,500, Nigeria, about 2,500, and Haiti, about 2,200. The highest increases in violence were seen in Lebanon, 545%, Mozambique, 525%, Haiti, 490%, Ethiopia, 235%, and Ukraine, 105%. Protesters enter UK military base, attack plane. Protests were held in various countries on Friday to protest against Israel. The program was held in various places including Iran, the United Kingdom, Iraq, and Lebanon. During the program, pro-Palestinian protesters attacked a military base in the United Kingdom. During this time, the protesters attacked 2 planes. This information was reported in a report by Al Jazeera on Friday, June 20th. The report said that protesters entered the Royal Air Force (RAF) base in central England and damaged 2 military planes. The program was held to protest the UK government's support for Israel in the Gaza war. The protest platform Palestine Action said that 2 of their members entered the RAF Bridge Norton military base in Oxfordshire and sprayed red paint on the engines of a Voyager plane and attacked it with a crowbar. The group said in a statement on Friday that Britain had continued to send military supplies, fly spy planes over Gaza, and refuel US/Israeli warplanes despite public condemnation from Israel. They posted a video of the incident on X. The statement added that Britain was not just an accomplice, but an active participant in the massacre in Gaza and war crimes in the Middle East. The video footage shows 2 men speeding through the Bridge Norton base on an electric scooter. One of them is seen using a recycled fire extinguisher to spray red paint on the aircraft's turbine engine. The group said the red paint was spread on the runway as a symbol of Palestinian bloodshed, and a Palestinian flag was left at the scene. They also claimed that the workers were able to leave the military base undetected and avoid arrest. Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the vandalism in a post on X. The Ministry of Defense and the police have also launched an investigation into the incident. A statement from the ministry said, "Our armed forces represent the best of Britain. They risk their lives for us, and their duty, dedication, and selfless personal sacrifice are an inspiration to us. It is our duty to support them." The report said Defense Secretary John Healey has ordered an investigation into the incident and a wider security review of the country's military bases. Iran does not need help, Israel does. Lebanese Parliament Speaker. Iran does not need any help, but Israel needs help, said Lebanese Parliament Speaker and influential Shiite leader Nabi Berri. At the same time, he made it clear that Lebanon will not join Iran in any way in a war against Israel. In an interview given to Lebanese local television channel MTV on Thursday night, he said, "I am 200% sure Lebanon will not get involved in any war. The country does not have such an attitude, and if it gets involved in a war, its costs could be very high." According to a report by Al Jazeera, various speculations have been spread around Lebanon's role in the recent Iran-Israel tensions. Many thought that Lebanon, which is close to Hezbollah, might stand by Iran. In the meantime, the country's top parliamentarian made such a comment. Nabi Berri said, "Iran does not need us, but Israel needs the support of others." It is worth noting that Nabi Berri is known as a close ally of Hezbollah in the Lebanese political arena.